Over here, information is coming out of my yield monitor into my iPad.
This is Pete Kramer, and this is his farm. He's a crop consultant in rural Minnesota, meaning he collects data from his farm and sends it to clients.
Just about every piece of equipment has a computer hooked to it.
Thing is, the internet is kind of new around here. Okay, not literally, but 2 years ago, he could barely send an email.
I'd have to a lot of times wait until midnight to send those data packages because my upload speed would be so slow. It meant me running USB sticks. Sometimes I'd drive up to 60 miles to drop off some information or some data for the farmer.
So that's like the horse and buggy days, like Paul Revere with a flash drive. I know his story sounds extreme, but a third of U.S. homes don't have high-speed internet. America's digital divide is real, and it could actually get worse. Have you thought about what might happen as 5G gets deployed?
I'm skeptical of how long it would take. There's areas that are going to be left behind for a while yet.
It got me thinking. 5G is promising to connect our world faster than ever before. But could it end up dividing us further?
5G is the future.
Ultra-high speeds, ultra-reliability.
That will not only allow for phones to be connected, but almost everything.
A quick breakdown. 5G is the wireless network that will ultimately take over 4G. It'll power phones, and it might also replace your home internet. Yeah, it's that fast. Here's where it gets complicated. 4G relies on cell towers that service many miles. Then 5G uses devices called small cells. Their range is only several hundred feet. So for 5G to work in a rural area, you're looking at a lot of small cells that cost a lot of money. But the digital divide isn't just a rural problem. Over the course of, your 4 years in high school, I'm sure you've been assigned a lot of homework. A lot of that homework relies on an internet connection.
It's frustrating because you want to do the homework, but you can't do it because you don't have no internet.
I met up with Eric. He's a high school senior from Newark, New Jersey. It's across the river from Manhattan. Yet over 40% of homes here don't have high-speed internet.
Colleges email me back about deadlines, and I can't even get to it.
Are you worried about missing out on opportunities because of that?
Yes, because financially, I'm not where I should be yet.
In rural areas, the digital divide is about access. In urban areas, it's about cost. In both cases, it makes things pretty difficult. That's why Eric takes the bus here after school. It's a learning center at Rutgers University, just so he can get online. Would a cell phone be enough to do everything you need to do?
No, I say you need a phone and a computer. With a phone, you got a keyboard, so now...
Just doing this
you like all day long.
You can't write a college essay doing that. Nearly 1 in 5 teens can't finish schoolwork because they lack internet or a computer. It's called the homework gap, and it's especially a problem in low-income homes. Which brings us back to 5G. If families can't afford basic internet now, will 5G be any different? And what happens to those who just can't wait for 5G to deliver on its promises? Well, it kind of goes back to Pete and his farm, and why he finally has high-speed internet. What are we looking at here?
Every single blinky light is a customer.
These are humans using your service.
Currently, we have over 2,000 subscribers, and we have room for way more.
This is RS Fiber, a Minnesota-based co-op. The communities around here felt left behind by the big internet providers. So people decided to, make their own internet.
It's not a company coming in and doing it. It's all the towns working together to bring the service in that their constituents want.
As 5G becomes a reality, is that a factor for you guys at all?
You can't see what 5G can do until it's deployed. In the rural areas, up till a couple years ago, they didn't have 4G. Metro areas had 4G. So if 5G is available tomorrow in Minneapolis, how long before it's available everywhere?
It's a pretty classic tale. If you're a big telecom company, you go first where the big profit is. And that's usually not rural or low-income areas. But RS Fiber is helping bridge the divide here, and it isn't some anomaly. There's a growing movement of communities taking the internet into their own hands. How did RS Fiber change your whole operation?
It gave me the flexibility to do my emails in the morning, any time of the day.
It's like it's 2018.
Right. I feel like I've joined the rest of civilization.
5G could take us into the future. It has the potential to power smart cities, driverless cars, even robotic surgery. Still, we're years away from seeing if everyone can access it equally. So maybe we should be asking a different question.
Should internet be a public utility the same way that gas and electricity is?
If you didn't have internet at home, it'd be the same way if you didn't have water at home or power at home. Could you really operate?
He's kind of right. The internet isn't exactly a luxury anymore. I mean, you're watching this online right now. How long could you last without it?
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.